and polishing the lid. Look at how the colour comes up, guys, look at that. Wow. And polishing the underside of the box now with the red gun and the European beach. Guys, welcome to the channel. I'm Daniel, and today we're going to make this box. It's called the tub box, made of sassafras blackheart, red gum and European beach. 2 sliding lids. Come on a journey and we'll make this box right now. Look at that, guys, that came out great, didn't it? What a box. Okay guys, another day, another box. I have a box that I made for my book over there. So I've got a box to follow along with. I've got a couple of offcuts from the big leg I got in that box. They're going to be our legs. So I'm going to have 2 legs in this one, not one. So they're made of red gum, or they are just 2 pieces of timber glued together to form a leg shape. That's it. Okay, and we're going to be making our box out of finger jointed beech, finger jointed European beech and nice light timber, and the top's going to be made out of sassafras blackheart. And it's got a big hole in it at the moment, but I'll fill that with black resin, I think. And that's going to be our box. The hardest part is doing the angle on the base itself. So first thing we're going to do is to cut the 45-degree angle on the beech and the 15-degree angle on the sides, and just glue them together, and then we'll just take it from there. Okay guys, here I am adjusting the saw blade up and cutting the long miter with the sliding table saw. So easy with a sliding table saw. And the other half now. And putting the groove into the top, which had to be put in at 45 degrees, as you see. So it's a bit tricky, but I'll go through it alright. And cutting the 15-degree angle now at 45 degrees. And setting the block up now to cut the other end, so I've got 2 exactly the same. There you go. And gluing up the 45-degree angle at the bottom now. I put it in between those 2 legs there, so it all sits right. And I'll glue the other side up and then just put it in there, press it down and leave it. Okay guys, I've got the sides of the box all cut on a 45-degree angle at the bottom, and I just glued them in between the legs. The legs will hold it while everything dries. I've cut the angle at 15 degrees too. I've done the groove for the top. And this is the top. The next trick is to fill this big hole with black resin. And then we can sand it down to fit in the grooves. Cool. Okay, mixing up the resin now, you've got to make sure you mix it up very well. And pour it into the hole, put a bit of masking tape on the back so it doesn't leak through. And that worked well. Make sure it's black. Okay guys, I'm fitting the ends. What do you have to do? You have to get an offcut. And just keep playing around with the angle until you get it right. But perfect fit on the outside, but on the inside not a perfect fit. So if I had some thicker material, I could take up the gap. But this on the inside, I'm just going to leave it. You're not going to see much of it, but it is a mistake. Thought I'd point that out to you. That's what handmade things are all about. If they were perfect, we'd get them all made in China, wouldn't we? So everything doesn't have to be perfect. You just have to work with your little mistake. But when this is all finished, you would hardly ever know. And just cutting the angle on the top of the end pieces now. Okay guys, I've cut the small ends. You see I made a jig for the saw again, so I don't have to hold them. If they're small, if you hold them, they will bite. That one sits in there like that, so the lid can slide past it. So it's just underneath the groove. Cool. And just gluing in the ends now. And I'll fit them together with a couple of bits of masking tape, just to hold them down. And one on that side, and I'll put one on the other side, so there you go. And putting the sassafras black art through the sander now to sand the resin down and to make sure it fits in the groove. Oops, chicken legs. Mark. Damn. Anyway, it is what it is. And cutting the 45-degree angle on the plug that goes on the inside of the box. And you see that I wait for the saw to completely stop before I take it out. With being an angle, it will jam and it'll kick back on you. And then I'll just do the other side now. I do the same thing, wait for the saw to stop. Okay guys, I've got the pine plug all cut. That will sit in there like that. I'll cover it in a material. I put a couple of dividers in there. So cool, but I can't do that until after it's all polished. So we're getting there now, and the ends are all done, just drying up now. And I've machined the lid, and that goes in there like so. It'll be a bit of foam, and that's how it's going to sit. And that's squaring off the ends now with my tenon saw. And cutting the two handles that go at the end of the lids. And cutting it the other way now. So I've got two handles out of one piece. And whacking them through the thickness so to clean them up. And running them over the dado head to put the rebate in them. Here I am. Don't use that machine often, but it comes in handy. Okay guys, I've got the red gum handles on the ends of the sliding lids now, and they're all glued on, just waiting for them to dry. So yeah, so they've come up well. I rebated them with the dado head, and that worked well too. So yeah, we're getting there now. I've got the material on the plug now that goes into the inside of the box. So all we have to do now is to cut the divisions, 2 or 3 divisions, and wait for the handles to dry, and then just finish them off with the angles. And then sand and polish, and we're there. Yay! Gluing the box to the legs now on my new box that I made to get everything up off the saw bench, so I can see it easier. And polishing the lid. Look at how the colour comes up, guys, look at that. Wow. And polishing the underside of the box now with the red gun and the European bleach. Okay guys, we're all finished. Look at that, the tub box, all done. With this sassafras black heart top, 2 sliding lids, red interior. I'm not going to say the word yet, but I'm going to say it in a minute. Red gum legs and European beach box. What a great looking box, guys. Love the sassafras black heart top. It just pops, guys. And today we're going to make this special box. It's made of 3 different boxes glued together in a sort of a random shape with 3 drawers in it. Look at that, guys. Doesn't that just pop? Wow. But the whole box was inspired by the old snakes and ladders game. And we've got a red snake snaking around the whole box, right down to the end. So the red resin snake just snakes around, wenge handles and a wenge dot on the top for starting point for the snake. It just pops. And every edge is mitered. Even the drawers are mitered. So you don't see any end grain or any long edges. Come on a journey, and we're going to make this box today. Hey guys, another unusual box, isn't it? A stack of drawer boxes on different angles, with a stripe going around on snakes and ladders game. Okay, we'll make the box out of Fijian kauri. I've got a whole heap of this stuff, so it'll be a good timber to make the box out of. And the jarrah strip's going to be made of jarrah, of course. I've got a bit of dark jarrah here, which I'll cut up. And I've also brought a brand new 1/2 inch cutter. So when it comes time to router the the jarrow in, and it'll be a nice sharp edge, I hope. Anyway, let's get on to it. Okay, here I am just cutting up the Fijian kauri. They're big slabs of timber, these Fijian kauris. The tree must be huge. And just running it over the mother. And doing the edge now. And again, but it had a little bit of a cup in it. And whacking it through the thicknesser. And cutting it down the guts on my band risaw. It's about 200 mils high, that piece. Just gotta let the saw do the work. Just keep pressure on it and let the saw do the work. There you go, all done. And cleaning it off through the thicknesser again. There it goes. And just cutting it roughly to length now. Just slabbing up all the boxes. Okay guys, I've got all the boxes, all the drawer boxes slabbed up, so they're all cut oversized. So now we're just going to go around and cut all the miters everywhere. They're all going to be mitered all the way around. So these are just the boxes themselves. I haven't done the front or the back yet. So that's the first thing we do. We just get the boxes together with no front and no back, but mitered up for them. And then we'll put them together. Cool. Okay, doing the miters now. On my table saw. The table saw is so easy to do the miters, get a straight edge. There you go. And doing the short ones now. I've got one cut. The trick is when you're cutting miters and small pieces, to get them in the cramps pretty quick. Because a piece like that, if you leave it overnight, it will just cup. So I just cut one and I put it in the cramps now. Okay, doing my favourite job, gluing up the boxes, just folding them up like a piano accordion, I think I say. Bit of tape. And a couple of box clamps. Okay guys, I've got 3 of the boxes all made now, just the box itself, not the front or the back. I've stacked them on top of each other in a random pattern, and I think they're going to get too high. I was going to put 5 boxes, but I think that's going to be too high. I think I'm going to stick with the 3 boxes. It's one of these things that as you go through a project, you reassess the proportions of it. When I first thinking of it, I think 5 boxes might be too high. But when I cut the miters, I take everything into account. I've got to put drawers in there, and everything's got to be right. I'm too high, so I'm going to stick with the 3 boxes, I think. So now I can just do them. I'll cut the front and the back, and then I'll make the drawers. I can put the back in, but I can't put the front in until after I make the drawers, of course. And just ripping the small ends on the boxes, the fronts and backs, and pinning the drawers together. They're just standard sort of drawers. Nothing flash about them. Pinning them together with my trusty 23 gauge headless pin gun, bit of glue, and they come up great. Put a groove in there for the bottom after it's all polished. Very easy to make. And both have another bit of Fijian kauri for the centre ring holder. But it has to have holes drilled in it to hold your rings and your earrings. And drilling the holes now. Okay guys, I've taken all the boxes out of the tape. I've given them a bit of a sand. Look at that. Everything is mited. Even the drawer front is mited into the box. So you don't see any end grain or long edges. And they're going to sit in a random pattern like that somehow. I've got the ring box made too, so that's just they're done. So I'll put them in a random pattern, and then I've got to do the Jarrah snake. As I said, the whole concept of the box was from the old snakes and ladders game. So this is the snake coming up through the boxes and onto the top somehow. So it's going to be interesting. Anyway, let's get on with it. A change of plans. I've decided not to use the Jarrah in the for the snake, but I can't get the right curves. I'd have to do it on the lathe, and I think I'm just going to use red resin. I think that's the way to go. I think that will look good. Another example of how you go about thinking about things as you're making them. You can change your mind. There's nothing stopping you from changing your mind. So you don't have to get one plan and say, I'm going to stick to this plan all the time. I like to stand back and look at the project and say, oh, maybe yes, maybe no. And now I've come up, I think I'll use a red resin, I think, in it. So I have to do that in 2 pours. 3 top first, wait till that dries, sand it up, and then turn it on its edge. But I can't do an edge and a top at the same time. But the resin won't hold, it's just liquid. So we'll do that. We'll do the top first, and then we'll take it from there. Cool. Okay, just powdering for the red resin river now. I just drew a line, a random sort of line. And cleaning the groove out with my finger. And putting in a dam so the resin doesn't spill everywhere. Okay guys, you see how I routed the tops? With a brand new cutter, it went through it like butter. And now I've put a bit of tape on the end so to hold the resin in. I put a dam around it. Now we're going to mix the red resin and we'll pour it in for our first pour. Then we're going to wait till it dries. Okay, the red resin is more of a purpley red, but that's fine. Stands out good. Look at that. Look at that. And using my sander to sand the bulk of it off. Okay guys, I've done the first sand on the resin, got the bulk of it off with my trusty belt sander there. Up again, and then I'll mark for the ones down the side so they all match up. And I'll router them, and then we can pour that resin. Okay, here I am doing the side ones now. And pouring that resin. I did make a mistake. I should have sealed the groove, but I did get a bit of bleed in the side where the resin hits the timber, but not much. But they had to be glued together, so I didn't want to seal it all up. I lasered in a round hole and a plug. Okay guys, we're all finished. A box inspired by our old Snakes and Ladders game. Look at that. Look at that. All the joins are mited, even the drawers are mited, so you don't see any end grain or long edges. And the red snake just snakes around all the boxes. And even the drawers are mited. I put winch handles in there. So all we've got to do now is sand up and polish, and we're done. Okay, I give it 3 coats of clear lacquer and it makes the resin pop. Look at that guys. Very nice. Okay guys, we're all finished. A box inspired by a board game, Snakes and Ladders. The red snake going all the way around the box there, as you see. The 3 drawers that all pull out. So look at that. I won't say it pops. Yeah, well, it pops. Glued up in a random pattern with the snake going all the way around. It just, I'm going to say it again, it pops. So, another unusual box. But you know, I like making unusual. Every edge motted, even the drawers are motted all the way around to fit in the hole. So every edge motted, not one end grain, not one long grain anywhere. With the wenge handles and the wenge start button for the snake. It just pops. Okay guys, thanks for watching. Please subscribe and ring the bell. And I'll be back soon making another box. Yay!